Welcome back to Distant Gooner TV. Great to have you here. Back on the channel where you've guessed it, no season tickets are required to have your opinion. And I don't care where you are in the world. This is the place for you, for Gooners everywhere. This is your match reaction video. Arsenal 1, Newcastle 0. And yes, I can hear the chants already. Second again, ole, ole, ole. And I'm all for that, people. I love the banter. We'd be doing it the other way. So I haven't got an issue with that whatsoever. Let's get into the match review. In terms of the first half, pretty poor from us. Equally, really good from Newcastle. I mean, I've got to say, as soon as the team sheet came out, when Isak was not playing, I was like, all my Christmases had come at once. I couldn't believe it. I didn't hear any rumours about this at all, so I was quite surprised. It just sort of came out of nowhere. And, you know, let's face it, this is a massive boost for us. You know, he's ripped us apart many times this season, hence why we've been linked so heavily, and we would clearly love to have him in our team. But that was a massive boost, I've got to say. As soon as that happened, I immediately, whilst in the preview, I'd kind of pointed out that I fancied us. We needed a big performance from the lads. But that being said, when that team news came out, I was definitely thinking we have to win this game. The first half was pretty poor on our part. We just couldn't really get a foothold in the game. Nothing was really happening. It's happened all too often, to be fair, this season, where we started sluggishly, really slow. You know, almost like we're not the home team. It's just mad. I mean, Newcastle, to be fair, had a few breaks, didn't they, where they could get through with Harvey Barnes, Bruno Guimaraes, who had that chance as well. Fantastic save by Raya. Although, to be fair, I mean, Raya was brilliant, don't get me wrong, in that first half. With his hands, with his feet, he was shocking. Honestly, I don't know what's happened to him lately. I mean, he's so lucky that he's so brilliant in terms of shot stopping and his goalkeeping ability, because it's really got him off the hook lately. I'm not saying usually his distribution is great. It's one of his assets. But yeah, lately, you know, we've mentioned previously on this channel about his positioning, playing at left back, right back and all that. That wasn't the case in this game, but his kicking was truly atrocious. It really was, and led to, obviously, a couple of chances for them. There was a Livramento chance as well. I mean, you've got to think, one of these chances were likely to have been put away had they had Isak on the pitch. So perhaps we were kind of lucky in that respect. We didn't do an awful lot the first half. We had that one chance, unsurprisingly, from a corner. Saka from the right. Partey with a flick header, and it was a brilliant save, a reaction save, but he just kind of hit the keeper. But still, I mean, he was going in all day long. Reaction save, kept it a 0-0 for Newcastle going into half time. And second half, Newcastle pretty much disappeared. I don't know what it was in their performance. I really expected more from them, and you know, it's not that I'm taking away from our performance, but usually I'd say, yeah, you know, fair play to us. We got control of the ball. We dominated, and to a certain extent we did some of that. We did control the ball, but it's not to say that it was brilliant play from us and it was chance after chance and all that sort of stuff. It just, you know, I don't know. There was a significant drop off, I think, from Newcastle, and we did control the ball well, but again, not really creating an awful lot. But the one obviously magnificent moment, Ødegaard, to be fair to him, creating an assist, pulling it back at the edge of the box for Declan Rice, and what's becoming a trademark, whipping it in with his right foot. Absolute quality finish, and another brilliant goal, and a really good return on the season for Declan Rice in terms of assists and in terms of goals. Brilliant, and I don't think many people would dispute that he's been the key player over the last few months for Arsenal. So listen, runners up, you know, I said at the start of the week when I did the preview video that this was key to getting this game won and getting second place. I personally feel, people, it would have been terrible, a terrible look had we have pissed this season away and ended up being second, third and fourth. I think I've listened to the content online, and I know many people are of the opinion, well, it's second loser, third loser, fourth loser and all that. I don't share that view, people, at all. You know, when we look back at the season, we won't remember the intricate details, but we will remember that we were runners-up and that we were semi-finalists in the Champions League. And football's all about context, because if you put it like that, not taking into consideration all the other factors that we've talked about all season, then you've got to say that isn't a bad season. No team has a God-given divine right to win everything. We've never been that team, to be fair. You know, you look for our history. Yes, we've had good moments, but, you know, we haven't been a team like the Man Uniteds and the Liverpools that have gone on, and even Man City from recent years. And it hurts me to say it, but they have dominated. You know, they've won back-to-back titles and stuff like that. We've never really been that team, or certainly not in the modern era. And, you know, so, yes, I want to win. Yes, next season I think we do have to step up and win something, but there's never any guarantee. You know, and you can't tell me that over the last 3 years that, you know, second runners-up in the league is a bad position, because it just isn't. You know, I've been through the times with George Graham at times, Bruce Rioch, Arsene Wenger even to the end was getting, you know, your thirds, fourth, fifth, sixth. Hell, I've even seen us down as ninth. I mean, you know, so runners up. I mean, this is good, people. It's not all terrible. So, you know, I know that I've had my rants through the season. You know, and I get the frustrations. Don't get me wrong, I do get the frustrations. I'm just trying to, as we get to the end of the season, just put things into context. I'm not taking away the fact that, you know, we should have done better. And the one thing I will say, and it hasn't been picked up upon recently, so please get involved in the comments and let me know if I'm incorrect in what I'm hearing here. But I wasn't so bothered about the post-match comments. I've seen, again, content online talking about that. You know, Arteta making excuses again. And just on that note, you could call it excuses, but the reality is, people, you've got 38 games over a season and you need your best players available. You know, throughout all the times we won the league, that's been the case. We've had our best players available for the majority of the time. That's just a fact. It doesn't matter what team you look at. That's a fact. So I'm not going to sort of take that away. But the one thing I would pick up on is, and I think this was an interview on Sky Sports, and it was actually a pre-match, so it was a few days before the match interview with Arsene Wenger. So a few days before, they interviewed Mikel Arteta, and he was talking about the summer transfer plans. But I am sure I picked up on the fact that he turned around and said that we wasn't prepared or didn't have the numbers. It was some words to that effect that he alluded to in a statement made on that interview that just, to be honest, it shocked me. You know, we're 5 years into the process and you're telling me that going into a season that you haven't got all you need. And you know my thoughts about who we bought and pursued last summer and my thoughts on those, so I'm not going to go into that. But I just found that statement bizarre, and please get in touch and correct me if I'm wrong, if I misheard that. But that's certainly what I heard, and I thought that was a bit. I just can't get it. You know, especially if you add the layer of context that in January, yet again, if we already thought we were short, which let's face it, most fans thought we were, and then we were further short because of the players that we lost for injuries, it's even more criminal that we didn't do anything in January. And that's what I will get onto, both Arteta and the board and everybody involved in that process about. Absolutely criminal. But hey, we finished second. I'm pleased we got the job done, and we can now go into the Southampton game a bit more relaxed, give some of the youngsters a chance, some of the players that haven't had minutes throughout the season. And yeah, we can have a stress-free, relaxed last day of the season. As always, please let me know in the comments any of your thoughts. I love some of the comments you've been throwing my way. Shout out to Ellie, who's a Newcastle fan, who got in touch. We had a bit of comments back and forth. Commiserations, but I think, you know, you guys have had an amazing season, so fair play to you. And obviously, on top of it, you've won the Carabao Cup, so you're loving life. I mean, regardless of what happened on Sunday, and I do wish you the best in the next game, because, you know, I think you've deserved that Champions League place, so hope you guys get it. As always, please make sure you like, and the big thing, subscribe. You know where it's at, people. You know you need to keep it here. Distant Gooner TV. Hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.